All right. So today I wanted to offer you 10 simple ways to feel better right now. And I really believe in choosing thoughts that serve us. And I also know that there are really challenging times in our lives where we're just in survival mode, right? We are really just trying to take that next step forward. And sometimes that feels a little bit too hard. So I wanted to offer you this list that you could come back to and refer to and maybe get some ideas on things that will help you to feel more like yourself, to motivate you to take that next step, realize that this pain and the suffering won't last forever. So, the first thing that I suggest that really helps me a lot is when I'm feeling out of control with infertility and when I'm trying things that aren't working and when I'm just getting that no over and over again in infertility and in other areas of my life, something that helps me a lot is to choose things that that I can control. And one of those things is cleaning up and organizing. I always know that that makes me feel better with my environment, right? If I'm in a clean, organized environment, my mind is feeling very cluttery, right? I'm trying to choose those thoughts that are serving me, but it sometimes can be really hard. And so for me, when I step back and say, all right, my mind feels cluttery and my environment feels cluttery, it's too much, right? So for me, cleaning up and organizing my environment, whether that be a closet, whether that be a drawer, whether that be making my bed, anything that can kind of give me that sense of control again when my mind feels so out of control really helps me to feel a little bit better in that moment. Number two, going for a quick walk. And sometimes I feel like in our brains, we feel like we have to fully commit to something, right? If I go for a walk, it's going to be a 30-minute walk, and that fresh air really helps a lot. So try going for just a super quick walk. Don't expect yourself to like get in a workout or make a ton of progress in terms of the steps you're getting in that day. Just a change of scenery and a quick walk and getting outside can really help you to kind of get a little bit more of a clear mind. The third way to feel better right now is to create a note on your phone and jot down things that inspire you when you are feeling well that you can refer back to when you're not. For me, I have a note on my phone. It's titled When in Doubt. So when I'm not in doubt, when I'm inspired, when I hear a quote that really makes me feel good, when I read a story or a conference talk in my church or a scripture that really uplifts me, I will write it down in that note on my phone so that when I am feeling really crappy and when I'm feeling like I need a boost, I can turn to that because I know that I have items in that list waiting for me that have uplifted me in the past that I can easily turn to remember those inspired moments. So it doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to take a lot of time. Just create a quick note, whatever you want to title it. Mine is called When in Doubt because that's when I turn to it is when I'm in doubt for, a variety of reasons in a variety of different areas of my life. I will go to that note. Something also that I think is super helpful is my number 4 suggestion on ways to make yourself feel better now, and that's giving yourself a break when you feel like you're maybe pushing too hard. So when you're feeling exhausted and burned out, let yourself have a break, no matter what that is, right? There's certain things that you like to do. Maybe it's read a book, maybe it's go for a run, maybe it's watching a trash television TV show. I'm not judging. I have Netflix too, girl. So give yourself a break. The next thing that I suggest as an easy, simple way to feel better immediately, or like a quick way to kind of turn your day around, is to set up your support system with people who know you and are not trying to fix the situation or just trying to listen. And this can be one person, this can be multiple people, but just kind of talking with them and almost like setting a ground rule, like, hey, will you be my support system? Are you a safe place for me to come to when I am feeling ungrounded? When I'm feeling like I just can't really move forward because I'm feeling a little shaky and venting a little bit. I think that it's really helpful to do model work and thought work, which is again, please join me in April. I'm so excited to get to know you better. And I also think there is space for just like that exactly space so that you can talk with someone about what's happening and then try to figure out what's going on. And I think that when we try to brush the 50% of life that is really hard under the rug, we don't give ourselves an opportunity to learn to see what's happening and grow through it. And so I think that setting up your support system to help you be that space for you to figure it out, I think is really special. And I think it can help you to really feel better. Something also that I think is super helpful is ask your future self what would make her feel better and then do what she says. This has been a very eye opening concept for me. And actually, as I was creating the details of the program with my friend, the person I've hired to help me create this incredible program in walking you through the model and learning it that I'm launching in April. I was telling her there's a section I wanted to create for you about habits and about routine. And she was asking me about what has helped me most and she had different offers. And I'm like, honestly, none of those have personally helped me until I came up with the thought of checking in and having a relationship with my future self. And so if your future self will be really glad that you stepped out of the door and you went to that exercise class, even though you didn't want to, listen to her. I know that my future self will want me to do that. And she'll look back and say, oh my goodness, thank you. And I've got her back and she's got my back. And so ask your future self. It kind of sounds a little cheesy and weird, but just say, hey, future for me, obviously be Jenica. What would you do? What do you want me to do? And she's like, all right, girl, you're struggling, but you need to get up, you need to get your workout clothes on, you need to go to the gym because I know that I will feel better if you do. And it's this interesting, awesome relationship. And the more you do it, the more trust you'll develop with yourself and talk back and forth with your future self. Yeah, myself right now is thanking my past self, saying, thank you. I know you didn't want to do it. I'm proud of you. And it's like this beautiful self confidence that you develop in trusting yourself and having your own back. The last thing that you can do as a simple way to feel better right now is pick up a book, pick up your scriptures, pick up a conference talk, pick up something that is uplifting to you. Now, I'm a religious lady, and I don't think that the adversary would want us to do something like this, which I think is why it feels so hard and challenging. I rarely look forward to reading my scriptures, okay? I always am glad that I did though. I feel so much better. I feel so much more in alignment with God. I feel so much more in alignment with his purpose for me in my life. I feel like he talks to me through those scriptures. And so I think the opposition is probably from the adversary that wants me to feel like crap all of the time and wants me to hide and not develop my talents and my gifts to help women with infertility specifically I believe is what I've been called to do. You have those talents too. You have those gifts too that he wants you to feel like crap and hide and think you're not good enough. And so I think that that is why there's so much opposition to reading scriptures and things that will uplift you because he doesn't want you to shine. You are not intimidating to him if you are hiding in your house all the time, not having a relationship with anybody and feeling inadequate, right? So I think that's why there's opposition. Move through the opposition and trust your future self in knowing that it is the right choice because you know you'll feel better in doing that. All right, my friends, I hope those 10 things helped you. If you could please share this podcast episode with somebody that you love, you can send them the direct link. If you share on Instagram, make sure to tag me so I can repost. I would love for you to share this podcast episode. And I'll tell you why. The reason why it's so important for me is because the number one response that I get from women when I ask them, why is infertility so hard? Is that they say it feels so lonely. And I don't think that it needs to feel lonely. I think that it's challenging. I think that it's hard. Do I think that it needs to feel lonely? No, because I see how many people are experiencing it. So, in you sharing this podcast episode, it helps other women who may be feeling alone, who may have just found out they have infertility and they're like, where do I go next? No one prepared me for this. This is their home. This is their space. Thank you for helping me share this message with other women experiencing infertility. I love you. I am here for you, and I will see you here next week.